attention. We're going to go ahead and get this meeting started, but we'll wait. No, go ahead. You guys continue to talk. We'll wait on you. All right. Okay, this is December 18th, 2017. It is 5:30 p.m. We're in the Thomas J. Smith Council Chambers, and this is meeting number 48. It is now called to order. Would you all please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank God.
Amen. Kathleen, roll call, please.
Fleming.
Here.
McCampbell.
Here.
Wilson. Here. Phillips.
Here.
Davidson.
Here.
All right. We have two mayor's awards tonight. I always love to give these out, and these will be the last awards for 2017. So you're all supposed to like clap when I do that, but not really. So. All right, thank you, all three of you. This first award, me and this gentleman, we go way back. I've known him forever. He swears he saved my life, but it wasn't him, it was his brother. He's all about Burlington, and that's why I started this for, to recognize people that were doing things in Burlington that were all about this community. So we're gonna have a little fun with you tonight, but be it known, on behalf of the city of Burlington, Iowa, I would like to thank you for being a model Burlingtonian. You have left Burlington 15 times and have only stayed away for 6 days. You truly love your community, and it shows in every way. You know everyone, and everyone knows you. Big Art Trap, you helped make Burlington a great place to live, work, and play. On December 18, 2017, this Mayor's Award is presented to James Redd. Come on down. What are you talking about? I'm going to put my pretty jacket on. Okay. So let me give that to you, and let me give you one of these. Here. And if you don't mind getting a picture taken with you. Okay. It's really good for my street cred. Excellent. James, would you have a word? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the people on TV can.
Okay.
The
I do
millions of
appreciate
listeners.
this award from Mayor Shane McCampbell and the city of Burlington. I've been here all my life, and this is home for me. My mom was born and raised here and passed away here. All my kids were raised here, and I can't think of a better community. I know we have some hurdles ahead of us, and I think as a community, we'll continue to move forward. And again, I appreciate this in the honor of Burlington, and thank you again. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Danny.
That's right. Him and my brother were best friends in school. He gets one, my brother gets nothing. All right. This next award goes to another guy I've known for forever. A longtime Burlingtonian, and ran into him the other day out to the hospital as he was going to do what he does. And I won't get into all of his business, but he's kind of a big deal as well. And I want to recognize him tonight. And his kids, his 25 kids are with him, and his crazy wife. So we're really excited about that, but just glad to be giving this out tonight. On behalf of the city of Burlington, Iowa, I'd like to thank you for being a model Burlingtonian. Your positive attitude and your desire to use your gift to be a blessing to others in need is commendable, honorable, and helps make Burlington a great place to live, work, and play. On December 18, 2017, this Mayor's Award is presented to Aaron Cat Stevens. Come on down. Let's give all 20 of your kids in on this picture.
Absolutely.
Yeah, all the kids, and call them outside, the ones that are outside, tell them to come.
It's all right.
That's what I'm talking about. That's right, that's not what it is.
I'm glad you did your hair.
Can you guess which one is his crazy wife? Okay.
Can I have you hold that?
All right, can I shake your hand? Can I shake yours too? And yours, and yours too, and yours too. You can't, you gotta move your finger, all right. And yours too. I'll hug you. Thank you. Tell what I mean. All right. I suppose, Daddy. Come on. What about Daddy?
Thank you, Mayor McCampbell. It is truly an honor to receive this award, and it's also a special honor to receive the award in these chambers. Thomas J. Smith was my great-grandfather,
Wow.
who served as mayor of Burlington for 7 terms, and so this is kind of the icing on the cake for me. It's an honor to have my wife and my kids here. I came back to Burlington after nearly 20 years away. I came back in 2005, and my plan was to stay for a short time and move on. And I met my wife. We had our family. We got married, and we decided to stay here and raise our family. And so Burlington has always been a great city to come home to. So thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna point out, I recruited that one.
What's
That was a recruit of mine right there.
You did
I
good,
recruited
my
them to
friend.
Burlington.
You did good. You did good. All right. Mayor's Awards winners, if you guys want to, you can get on out of here now if you want. Okay. And he is just maintained, you guys can get on out of here. Yeah, you can leave.
Or you could stay.
You can stay.
You're just gonna be bored out of your mind, man.
Back down the 5 million stairs.
That's right. Stay healthy that way.
Okay. We also have the opportunity to recognize 2 city workers. They've been a tremendous blessing to the city, and they are both retiring. So we have to say goodbye to them, and what better way than to finish it out by giving them a plaque here in the council chambers. Kent Powell from the Streets Department, sewer maintenance worker, 25 years of service. That's a long time. Jim Davidson, you got it.
Proclamation. Whereas the City of Burlington honors Kent Powell for his long tenure of outstanding service to the citizens of Burlington. And whereas Kent has been an outstanding and dedicated employee for a little over 25 years. And whereas Kent began his employment in September of 1992 in the Street and Sewer Department for the City of Burlington. He worked in the Street and Sewer Department on the day shift until his retirement. And whereas Kent has been a loyal employee throughout his career with the City of Burlington, during his 25 years with the city, Kent has lent his many skills to the citizens of Burlington. Kent added a very diverse set of skills along with his always positive attitude and creative thinking. He also worked many weekends and holidays away from his family during snowstorm events as well as heavy rain events. I don't wonder why these guys are retiring right before snow.
He's a smart guy, man.
He will be missed by his City of Burlington colleagues and the citizens of our community. Kent has truly made Burlington a better place to live, work, and play. Now therefore, we, the City Council of the City of Burlington, do hereby recognize and commend Kent for his conscientious and faithful service. We extend our appreciation and our congratulations on a successful career and wish him the very best in retirement. Signed and sealed this 18th day of December 2017, Shane A. McCampbell, Mayor. Kent, if you would, please.
Gotta give you one of those. That's right, gotta get one of those. And one of these I'll take, if you don't mind. Thank you. Let's get everybody in on this here. I'll take this. Okay, there you go. Pretty people. That's right. Get up front, bud.
You can Photoshop this out.
that big button right there.
1, 2, 3.
It's not a big button, that's all my nose, Nick. Watch yourself. Kent, please have a word.
I'm not gonna say a lot. But I'd just like to thank the city of Burlington for the job. It's been a great job for 25 years. And if I wasn't 66, I wouldn't be retiring. But I am, and it's time to quit, so it's been great.
Congratulations.
Congratulations and thanks.
Okay, we've got one more. Next one's for Mark Cameron, streets sewer maintenance worker, 37 years of service.
All right, I have a proclamation here, whereas the City of Burlington honors Mark Cameron for his long tenure of outstanding service to the citizens of Burlington. And whereas Mark has been an outstanding and dedicated employee for a little over 37 years. And whereas Mark began his employment in September 1980 in the Street and Sewer Department for the City of Burlington. He worked in the Street and Sewer Department on day shift until retirement, except for a short stint at property maintenance due to employee realignment. And whereas Mark has been a loyal employee throughout his career with the City of Burlington. He has been the sign maintenance person for many years, working with minimal supervision and keeping our signs in proper working order while creating a safer travel path throughout Burlington's streets. He also worked many weekends and holidays away from his family during snowstorm events as well as heavy rain events. He will be missed by his City of Burlington colleagues and citizens of our community. Mark has truly made Burlington a better place to live, work, and play. And now therefore, we, the City Council of the City of Burlington, do hereby recognize and commend Mark for his conscientious and faithful service. We extend our appreciation and our congratulations on a successful career and wish him the very best in retirement. Signed and sealed this 18th day of December, 2017, Shane A. McCampbell, Mayor. And I also have this wonderful plaque here that reads, "The City of Burlington hereby honors Mark W. Cameron in recognition and appreciation of 37 years of dedicated service, faithfully and loyally serving the citizens of Burlington. Retired December 29th, 2017. So you still have some time to, yeah.
Okay.
So,
When you work for 35 years, we kill a tree for you, so.
And we hope there's no snow that you have to get out for.
I don't know.
Come on down, Mark Cameron.
So many things to do.
I know, Cam, you've changed more signs than I've changed.
You guys get in here, let's go. One, two, three.
Mark.
Is that a yes, Eric?
We're taking the next, yes, sir?
Oh,
How about Nick?
Well, I can honestly say that 37 years ago, on July 4th, there was a storm. Now, none of you were here. Maybe a couple of you remember it. The city hired a bunch of part-time people to come in and pick up trees. That September, there was only 3 of us that didn't miss a day of it. We still work for the city today.
That's what I'm
They
talking
hired
about.
us full-time
That's what I'm
because we
talking
never
about.
missed a day. Anyway, I'd like to thank the city for 37 years. It's been great. Some bad, some good. You know, you take the bad with the good, but it's been a good time. And I'm gonna miss the guys I work with, but it's time to go. So thanks a lot. Thanks for everything. And keep up the good work, guys.
Thank you.
For the record, we just retired 2 classy individuals, and I'll tell you what, it's going to be hard to replace you 2 gentlemen, but what a blessing it has been to have both of you work for the city. We certainly appreciate you. So you guys don't have to stick around for this ugly stuff. We'll let you get on out of here too, but thank you for coming down. Actually, the next part of this is recognition of council members Davidson, Fleming, and Scott. And Mr. Scott isn't here tonight, but I'm going to read his, and Tim will make sure that you get these. Because I'll tell you, anybody that does a job like this, they really have to care for their community. They have to do and be a lot of things, and I'm sure that there have been people that they've been friends with that maybe they're not such good friends because of maybe of decisions that have been made. So it's just a tough job, and anybody that does that, they need to be recognized. And we're losing some quality gentlemen here. I personally, well, I'm not gonna. Jim already told me I can't say a bunch of stuff about him, so won't get it started.
Thank you.
Timmy, this is yours. What a blessing it's been to have him, though, Mrs. Davidson. Anyways, this is Timmy's. It says, on behalf of the city of Burlington, Iowa, I would like to thank you for being a great past mayor and city council member. You are forever the Lorax, and you will always speak for the trees/people. On behalf of some of the foliage, we thank you and want you to know that you helped make Burlington a great place to live, work, and play. On December 18th, this mayor's award is presented to Tim Scott. And also, we have Tim's plaque. In grateful recognition of Tim Scott, thank you for your outstanding faithful service as a city council member for the city of Burlington, Iowa, January 2014 to August 2017, presented by the city council. So we're going to make sure that you get those, Tim, and that they're in good repair. You know, pass that down, please, for me. Appreciate that. This next gentleman, I call him the bishop, and everybody gave me a hard time when I was first on the council. You know, too many nicknames and stuff. Well, now they just deal with me. So, but he's the bishop, and there's only one, and we got to have him. And there's a lot of communities that would have loved to have had a Bob Fleming, but we got him, and what a blessing he's been. I came in with you during tough times, Bob, and we made it through together. And I can't remember ever getting into an argument with Bob. We've had disagreements, but never arguments. And that's something to be able to say. Be it known, on behalf of the city of Burlington, Iowa, I would like to thank you for being a great city council member. Your expertise, your knowledge of community, your style, Anita's style, and the fact that you are the bishop and there's only one, helps make Burlington a great place to live, work, and play. On December 2018-2017, this mayor's award is presented to Bob Fleming, and also your plaque as well. And grateful recognition of Robert Fleming. Thank you for your outstanding and faithful service as a city council member for the city of Burlington, Iowa, January 2010 to January 2018. He did 8 straight, so that's commendable. It's presented by the Burlington City Council. Bishop, what a blessing it has been to work with you, my friend.
Thank you very much.
One of a kind, Bishop.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much, dear. Thank you.
I'm going to ask you to have a word, and if you'd like to reserve the right, you can wait till later, but we'd like to give you 2 opportunities. I'm going to set this right here for you, sir.
Do I have to go down there?
Yeah, no, you can go where you want to, Bob.
How long can I talk?
Yeah, however long you want.
8 straight, you've earned it.
That's right, 8 straight.
I would just like to say thank you. Thank you to a lot of people. Thank you to our current council members that we've served with. It's been an honor. And I really enjoyed getting to know more and more of the employees of our city. And the more of them I get to know, the greater respect I have for them.
Amen.
So to all you people that work for the city, thank you so much for your service. I like Burlington. I still like Burlington. I was born and raised here, and I'm going to stay here, God willing. And so to a couple of you that are going to stay on the council, I wish you well. And then to the new people, I wish you well. You've got a big challenge ahead of you, but I think you'll do a great job. I think the big thing that I've enjoyed so much has been working with Jim Davidson as our city manager. To me, he helped all of us as far as getting through some of the tough deals we've gone through financially and so forth. So again, I salute Jim as an excellent city manager. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob.
Almost forgot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the bishop, I need that.
That's right, that's right.
Thank you.
All right. And this next one, he's just been a blessing. He's everybody's teacher. He's taught everybody in the city of Burlington. And if he didn't teach you, then he taught one of your kids or your cousin or somebody like that. It's been a blessing to work with him. When I came in, somebody asked me, well, who taught you how to be mayor? I said, well, Jim Davidson did, of course. That's who I watched, and it was a great example. So to be sitting in the seat and to do a lot of the things that I do, I did because I watched what you did. So I thank you for also being a mentor as well. Man, you two cats are going to be missed, man. On behalf of the city of Burlington, Iowa, I'd like to thank you for being a great past mayor, city council member, and mayor pro tem. Your precision, your expertise, and the fact that you prayerfully and thoughtfully consider every issue that comes before the city council makes you awesome and helps make Burlington a great place to live, work, and play. On December 18th, 2017, this mayor's award is presented to Jim Davidson. And also, your plaque and grateful recognition of Jim Davidson. Thank you for your outstanding and faithful service as a city council member for the city of Burlington, January 15th to January 2018. Thank you for also serving in the capacity as Mayor Pro Tem from January 2016 to January 2018. Presented by Burlington City Council. To my friend and my mentor, Jim Davidson. Yes, please. Mrs. Davidson, would you please come up here?
I don't know where we are.
We'd like to get,
Right here in front of us.
Yes.
yeah, perfect. Come right on up here, please. We can have, can I get you to, can I get you in here? Huh? No, you can do it, just show him how to do that. Let's get one with Jim and his wife, and then let's get one with everybody. Let's get one with everybody in on that. All right. Okay, we want you right up here, Nick, yes? Ta-da. You do that? Jim, we're going to ask you and your lovely wife to please have a word. Okay. Sandy, would you like to have a word now? You don't think so? Okay, but you reserve the right at the end. If you want to say something, you can, whatever you want. All right.
No, I would like to say something at the end of the meeting, if that's okay.
That'll be just fine. Okay.
Thank you.
And just for the record, I am looking forward to working with all the new council members. John, where's Matthew? Actually, Matthew, it's really going to be a pleasure working with you. This guy's out of control. But again, I just can't state enough how much I'm going to miss working with Bob and Jim. They've really been a tremendous blessing, not just to me, but to the city of Burlington, to staff. You know, you can look back at Steph's face. See how she smiles? Because when they came down, they never did come down with drama. Just wonderful, fantastic people to work with. I'll stop right there. All right. Now the agenda. Next on the agenda is the consent agenda. All matters listed under item 1, consent agenda, having been discussed, are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion. There'll be no more separate discussions of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. On the consent tonight, we have the usual: finances and miscellaneous, minutes of previous meetings, payroll and city claims, beer, liquor, wine, cigarettes, and reports and bonds. We have 8 resolutions. The first is a resolution approving nuisance abatements for various properties. The second is a resolution approving purchase of 2 city buses for the Burlington Urban Service. The third is a resolution approving an agreement between the city of Burlington, Iowa, and Alliant Energy Incorporated for all-night lighting service on Magnolia Lane. The fourth is a resolution approving the application of a surface transportation block grant for Madison Avenue and 9th Street. The fifth is a resolution approving a memorandum of understanding with the Southeast Iowa Swim Club. The sixth is a resolution waiving any potential conflict of interest resulting from Dallas Lynch PC, representing the city of West Burlington with respect to the proposed voluntary annexation of territory within the 2 miles of city of Burlington. The seventh is a resolution amending fees and charge schedule at Flint Hills Municipal Golf Course. And then the eighth is a resolution approving the application of a community development block grant for the Locust Basin sewer separation. And we also have public hearings set for January 2nd, consideration of plans and specs for the Mount Pleasant Street Bridge project, as well as appointments. Mayor Pro Tem?
We have Brooke Smith going to the Animal Hearing Board, Linda Hill to the Board of Housing Standard Appeals, and John Phillips to Southeast Iowa Regional Planning Commission. So thank you all for serving.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
Your Honor, my turn? Yes.
No, not yet.
Not yet, okay.
Is there anybody
Still
that would
learning.
like to have any of these items removed from the consent? Anybody besides Leon Shahan? Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Leonidas W. Shahan, 1821 Mount Pleasant Street. I'd like to talk about number 6, please.
Okey-doke. Okay, can I get a motion?
Your Honor, I have
Whoa,
a,
whoa, whoa, wait.
what, I'm
Oh,
not screwed
sorry.
on my phone.
I didn't
Got
see you
one more
coming.
here.
We're gonna get to it, though. We're gonna get to it.
I would like to have payroll and city claims removed from the consent agenda.
Anybody else?
Yes. I wouldn't mind having a conversation about number 4, the resolution approving the SCGB grant application for Madison and Ninth.
Anybody else? Okay. Now, Mr. Bellis.
All right, Your Honor, I have a motion to approve all listed under the item consent agenda with the exception of payroll and claims. Number 4, which is a resolution approving the application of surface transportation block grant for Madison Avenue and 9th Street. And number 6, resolution for waiving any potential conflict of interest resulting from Lynch Dallas PC representing the city of West Burlington with respect to the proposed voluntary annexation of territory within the 2 miles of the city of Burlington.
Second.
So you're moving second. Kathleen?
Fleming,
Yes.
McCampbell,
Aye.
Wilson. Aye. Phillips,
Yes.
Davidson.
Aye.
Okay.
Your Honor, I move for preliminary adoption of the second reading of an ordinance providing for the division of taxes levied on taxable property in the West Avenue Mason Road urban renewal area pursuant to section 403.19 of the Code of Iowa.
Second.
Moved in second. Mr. Tislin?
No changes from the previous reading. Again, this is the second step in the process for use of TIF funds for new residential development south of West Avenue. This establishes a TIF district on the property proposed to be developed by Mr. Cahill in accordance with the approved urban renewal plan that was approved by the Planning Commission and City Council previously. If council final approves this ordinance, ultimately, a development agreement will be brought forward for consideration of approval by the council that lays out the terms for the use of TIF funds in the TIF agreement.
Any concerns from the audience?
Leon Shahan, 1821 Mount Pleasant Street. I'll be short and sweet on this. What we're doing here is really revisiting, providing housing for doctors subsidized by taxpayers like me, so the hospital can recruit doctors here. And I ask you, all of you, my wife and I are living on her Social Security benefits of less than $1,200 a month. Why is it that we should be expected to subsidize housing for doctors that make what she makes in a year, in a week?
Thank you, Leon.
Anybody else? I see none. Council?
No, nothing here.
Okay. Kathleen?
Fleming,
Aye.
McCampbell,
Aye.
Wilson. Aye. Phillips,
Aye.
Davidson.
Aye.
I meant to say no.
Your Honor, I have a resolution approving the final plat of 6th addition to Stonegate Crossing subdivision.
Second.
Moved in second. Mr. Tislin?
This is a 2-lot subdivision located south of Mason Road, just east of Roosevelt Avenue. This being Dunn Brothers on the corner of this subdivision that was previously developed. This includes, again, 2 lots with the extension of Lawrence Drive. Lawrence Drive is not complete as of yet, so the developer has provided a letter of credit for $55,000 for completion of that. This is in the Dewalt Plaza PUD, which is a PUD primarily for commercial development. That would be the use on these lots once they are developed. But it does follow the preliminary plat that was previously approved by Planning Commission and Council in late 2016 for continued development in this area.
Audience? I see none. Council?
No?
I'm good with it.
Kathleen?
Fleming,
Aye.
McCampbell,
Aye.
Wilson. Aye. Phillips,
Aye.
Davidson.
Aye.
Okay.
I have a resolution approving the final plat of Arborview Estates subdivision.
Second.
Moved in second. Mr. Tisland?
This is a 25-lot subdivision located just north of Sunnyside Avenue and east of Cliff Road. This follows the provisions of the Arborview Estates PUD that allows single-family or duplex on lots 1 through 16, zero lot line, duplex condominiums primarily along the south and part of the eastern portion, and then single-family lots on the remaining. This includes 2 new streets, Arborview Drive entering in off of Cliff, and then Harvest Lane going north-south. There is an outlot on the north side, Outlot 1. That would be for future street connection if or when the property to the north develops to allow through access from this property. There's also a detention pond, Outlot 2 on the south side of the property. This does follow the provisions of the previously approved preliminary plat. There are some conditions of approval, including lots 18 through 21 having a sprinkler unless the adjacent roadways connected through. Outlot 1, again, being reserved for future street right-of-way, connection to the property to the north. And then some items that need to be completed by the property owner, modifying the retention pond discharge system to include upturned intake, modifying the discharge point near Sunnyside, and provide stormwater intakes near the property to the northwest of the development. One condition that wasn't in the packet, but wanted to add was lots 13 through 19 requiring roof drains to tie or go back to the storm system on the west of those lots with work inspected by the city. The intent with that is that either over land or underground, this would direct stormwater to the existing storm system and away from the existing homes on the east of the subdivision. So providing additional protection from stormwater flow to the east of this property, and from these properties on the east, directing that flow towards the street, towards the storm system.
Everybody's good with that?
Yes.
Any questions, concerns from the audience?
Do we also have we talked about lighting. Do we have, for street lights, provision made here, or how does that work?
I don't remember if there was anything submitted in the plan that I have to review with the city engineer. There was nothing submitted. That's a conversation that we've had for our design standards on what we would expect for new subdivisions to be created, that a certain parameter of lighting be installed with the infrastructure. Unfortunately, at this point, that wasn't part of our standards.
I think that's an important discussion to have.
Yes.
Well said. You guys good?
Do this now.
Let's do it.
I need to amend Exhibit C, conditions of approval of the resolution approving the final plat of Arborview Estates subdivision by adding number 6 as follows. Lots 13 through 19 shall require any roof drains to be tied into the existing storm, water, sewer lines to the west of these lots. Such work shall be inspected by the city.
Second.
Thank you, sir. Kathleen?
Do you have any audience input?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I already did.
No.
Is there anybody from the audience that had any comments or concerns?
Okay, thank you. I know it's a formality, but.
No, no problem. Thank you. Okay, let's vote on the amendment.
Right. Fleming,
Aye.
McCampbell,
Aye.
Wilson. Aye. Phillips.
Aye.
Davidson.
Aye.
Okay, now let's vote as amended.
Fleming,
Aye.
McCampbell,
Aye.
Wilson. Aye. Phillips.
Aye.
Davidson.
Aye.
Okay. I miss you, bro.
Your Honor, I have a resolution approving an agreement between the City of Burlington, Iowa and Alliant Energy Incorporated for all-night lighting service on Pawnee Drive.
Get a second?
Second.
This request it came in from the HOA Association in the area to be put on the end of the cul-de-sac of Pawnee Drive on the north side. The reason why this is on the regular agenda, because staff did not recommend approval because of the current lighting in that area. They're an older style colonial with fairly yellow light and opaque glass. I did look into it. There is a way to get the other ones replaced, and that would be my recommendation, is to do that. So I would not recommend approval of this resolution.
Are these the tall ones too? With, you said
Yeah,
they're
they're
high?
20-foot, they're 20-foot fiberglass poles.
Okay.
Any questions or concerns from the audience? I see none. Council?
I'm gonna vote no, just so you know.
We're good?
Good.
Good.
Let's vote on it. Kathleen?
Fleming,
Aye.
McCampbell,
No.
Wilson,
No.
Phillips,
No.
Davidson.
No.
Okay.
Your Honor, I move the approval of payroll and city claims.
Second.
Moved in second. Yeah, Mr. Neri.
Eric Renteria, 907 High Street. Just a couple of comments. And this is really about a perception that I've picked up from city council over the years, and wanted to just share some thoughts on pay for municipal employees. There's been some studies out talking about the disparity between private sector employees and public sector employees and the cost of those. And Iowa leads the way in disparity between public sector and private sector employees in terms of pay and benefits. And unlike the way it used to be, is that disparity used to fall to the favor of the private sector. But it doesn't in Iowa. It falls to the side of the public sector employees. And the growth rate in public sector employee costs has been 5% or better per year you can turn back the clock for many years and you'll see that continued increase in costs for public sector employees. Part of that, and this is my perception, is that there's benchmarking done for public sector employees, where Burlington looks to other cities of comparable size and says, you know, they pay $60,000 a year for that. We want to be a little better. We should be $61,000. The following year, that city looks at Burlington and says, you know, Burlington's at $61,000. We want to be a little better than that. We should pay $62,000. And it contributes to the escalating cost of public sector employees without really any attachment to what's going on in the general market, the cost of private sector employees, or even the affordability of those wage increases. So I wanted to just bring this to the council's attention, because the ratio of cost of public sector to private sector employees is about 1.7. So in other words, if you pay if I own a business and I pay a private sector employee, whatever the cost of that person is, you multiply it by 1.7, and that's what it costs to get a public sector employee. And to me, that's problematic. The methodology for determining pay raises and salaries for public sector employees should not be based on what we pay other public sector employees. So I just wanted to make the suggestion to the council that they look at an alternative method, which would be to put a multiplier on the private sector wage increases and then pay increases to public sector employees accordingly. So for example, if wages in the private sector went up by 3%, the public sector employees would follow that same wage increase. Or if you wanted to reset wages for different positions within the municipality, you could set the equivalent position in the private sector and establish a multiplier, positive or negative, to that wage, and determine what a fair wage for a public sector employee should be based on that. To me, it's not trying to make more of it what it is, but it's people who do not have a profit margin to meet or a top line based on performance, setting wages for themselves. And so over time, the disparity just grows, and the burden on our private citizens increases, and we end up in a situation where a city like Burlington has a greater cost than it can manage in the cost of, and you all look at the numbers on the payroll, and it's a staggering figure. And in order to, and I think the council's done a great job of getting a handle on city costs, but if you really want to drive down, costs for the city, you got to get a handle on what you're paying people and pay them a fair wage, not compared to what Dubuque or Davenport or Muscatine or anybody else pays them, but based on what people in Burlington make, because that's a more fair and more appropriate way of managing that. So I just wanted to throw that out as a thought process on payroll. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking the time and coming down. Appreciate it. We good? Kathleen?
Fleming.
Aye.
McCampbell.
Aye.
Wilson.
Aye.
Phillips.
Aye.
Davidson.
Aye.
Okay.
Your Honor, I move the approval of the application for a surface transportation block grant for Madison Avenue and 9th Street.
Second. Moved in second.
Hi, it's me.
Nick?
The reason why I wanted to discuss this a little further was the bike lanes was kind of a topic of conversation last week. And I wanted to discuss that a little bit, as far as if we were to approve this tonight as is, the application would have bike lanes in there, and should we be awarded the funds, we would be obligated to install the bike lanes. So I just wanted to have an honest conversation about whether you thought they were valued, necessary. As far as an application process goes, there is value when they score them to have bike lanes. After discussing it with some of my staff today, I don't know that they are necessary. In all honesty, that there's no bike lanes in the given area to get anybody and then put them anywhere. Essentially, there's no bike lanes around them. What I would recommend, if you decided not to go that route, would be that you would have the sections where there are 30-foot wide roadways, that you would have 2 lanes of drive with no parking to meet some SUDA standards for safety. The bike lanes are essentially a filler that could fit that voided area where parking used to exist.
I'm against the bike lanes. I've talked to some people out by there, and if it was just like one lane that could be added on one side, you know what I'm saying, on the east side, that would be more palatable, but I still don't know how that would work, but again, there are people that buy homes, and especially during the holiday season, you expect to be able to get, your kids coming back from college or whatever to be able to park there. It just,
Well, you're not gonna be able to park there anyway.
My recommendation would to
Be
remove
no
the parking
parking.
in that area.
Because at the end, bike lane, I had a citizen email me and asked to look at that, and I tried to drive down that road a few times to count how many cars were parked out front. It didn't seem like an inordinate amount, but yeah, if you have the bike lane, even 1 or 2, you're gonna have no parking as a recommendation, because it's not wide enough, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
But what does this do to the application? If we say no tonight, then do you
We
have
don't have
time to
to-
refile?
You could amend the resolution saying the removal of the bike lane, and then we would change that in the application by simply removing the text.
because that has no bearing on whether we get this money or not. We were just throwing that in there to,
It does have some scoring value.
That makes us more
So when the committee at Southeast Ohio Regional Planning scores this, there is a factor in there for recreation.
that scores
And-
that high?
I don't know what the actual points are. I would hate to mislead you on what those points are
Okay.
worth. But there is value. That's the reason why we looked at Mount Pleasant Street and had that lane configuration rearranged to add the bike lanes in there.
I would love to see more bike lanes, that sort of thing, especially around parks. But I just think, just to randomly start throwing them in. Anyways, I guess there's no reason to beat this up, but I'm a no bike lane.
And I'm
Forward
for the
deck.
bike lane.
Huh? Who are you?
For the bike lanes.
She's a 4.
I just wanted to let you know that
Yeah.
if we were to apply as written, as the draft application is in there, we would be obligated to install the bike lanes should we receive the SDVG money.
So the way it's written though, we went through that before, but it is 2 bike lanes versus like having one. Because to me, one seems like somewhat of a compromise.
I think due to the standards,
Yeah,
the
it would
DOT
have to
review of it, you're obligated to put 2 in there because it's 2 ways of path and the width of the bike lanes that there are.
So, does anybody want to comment from the audience?
Does anybody want to comment from the audience? We'll get you right after him, sir.
Eric Renteria, 907 High Street. I actually was in a conversation with some developers about bringing employees to Burlington, and what do we offer, and what is the community, how's the community perceived? And it actually, the topic of bike lanes came up, and that there isn't adequate bike lanes. But to put them in all at once was extravagantly expensive. And at this meeting, the discussion fell to, we should just add them as we can, and slowly over time, as we look at a further out event horizon, we could actually create a city that has a very bicycle-friendly environment. So I'd encourage you to vote in favor of the bike lanes, not necessarily because of the value of that specific bike lane, but because of how it fits into the long-term look and livability of the city. I think there's tremendous value in it over time. So just food for thought.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eric.
Mr. Rinker. Counselor.
Not yet. Matt Rinker, 912 Hageman Avenue. I agree with John. I actually got the same email, I believe. I went and took an opportunity to look at the area that was involved. I understand your concern. There's not a lot of bike lanes in that area that will connect, but we have to start somewhere. I've taken the opportunity to talk with a multitude of people from different bike clubs and other people that live in the neighborhood, and they would agree that the bike lane would be favorable. I think the bike lane helps create an environment where we're starting to look at some of these amenities to improve the quality of life. If you were ever going to want to spurn off of that, where would be the best place to start? That area. You've got the biggest park in the area. You've got a lot of other trails that could lead to. So I think if we were ever going to start this type of infrastructure project, that would be the best place to probably start. So I do agree with your concern, but I would say that based off of everything that I've looked at, it definitely would be a great project to probably look at. Thanks.
Just for the record, I would agree. I think it's a great project. I just don't, I don't think it's a move good enough to do at the expense of people's parking. I just think it's important. When somebody buys a home, they're looking at all the variables. They're looking at all those things. And I know how that is a pain when you only have one driveway and there's no, parking on the street. That can be kind of tough, even with company, having to get up during the winter time, to let somebody out of the driveway or something like that. I think about those things, and it's no big deal for the people that want bikes because they don't live there. It's only a big deal to the people that live on that strip. I'm all for the bike lanes if we can do it without the compromise of without the compromise of the parking, but no, I think I just don't want to strip away any rights of the homeowner any more than I have to. That's where I'm at.
If it were possible that we could widen that street, I could understand where that would be a good move, but it's not really feasible to widen.
There's not a whole lot of real estate in that area, and the cost estimate that we have worked up would be extremely higher if we're going to widen it. There's a lot of trees and retaining walls that potentially would be in the way if we were to widen it wide enough to be able to get parking and bike lanes. I mean, I don't know if you're looking at that, but I mean, you're adding quite a bit of space.
So do you have in mind what we have to do to amend then?
I would just amend by removing bike lanes as a part of the application.
Does that work, Kathleen?
I still have a question, though. Either way, staff's recommendation is you're going to lose the parking on that street. Bike lanes or no bike lanes?
Correct.
Right. Okay, so for me, then, bike lanes make it.
In
because
this section where it's only 30 foot
I saw
wide.
those little kids out there today, they're going to be on their bikes riding on the street.
That's a key point, John.
That's a key point for me.
I didn't
So,
realize that.
and that's, it's in correlation to the two schools.
I
so.
thought the parking stayed, the parking was only getting removed with the with the bike lanes, with the addition of the bike lanes?
With SUDA standards, we have pre-existing conditions, but the recommended footage for parking would be 34 feet. So in order to have a more favorable application, parking would be removed in this area regardless of the bike lanes. Where it is only,
Where it's-
where it's
where
only
it's-
30
it's
foot,
only 30.
south of south,
Yeah.
All the way
It
to,
goes
all the way to
It's not
Sunset.
30 all the way, is it 30 all the way to Sunset? 'Cause I thought it was a little wider after Harrison.
No, I don't think so.
All right,
I drove out there. I didn't measure it.
Well, that does kind of change things, so do you guys want, are you guys wanting to proceed then? If parking's gone, I still don't like,
The other way to look at this, not to throw another wrench into this, is we don't have to go after STGB funding. We do have this, we have a section of Ninth and Madison funded in the same fiscal year that we're going after. We're using those dollars as our match dollars for this application and project. We are expanding it from the original to go down all the way from Harrison to Sunset.
with this.
So I would recommend applying for this, but with those federal dollars comes a certain parameters that you have to meet.
Okay, guys,
where is it past, from James Madison south, isn't it, Sandy? No one parks on the street between James Madison and.
There's
and
signs up
Craig
on
Park.
the there's parking on one side.
there's parking, yeah, there's parking on the west
Because
side.
we walk there a lot, and I just don't remember seeing cars parked on the west side of that street.
Not many that I've seen, but.
So you were talking about a bike lane all the way from Crapo Park to,
The section where it's 30
angle
foot, so
south?
south, all the
South
way
Street.
till the curb goes away, I think, right around Sunset.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, I'm confused.
Where's the switch from 34 to 30? Do you remember the appropriate street, or the approximate
It's
street?
not quite 34, between South and Pine. It does widen further north of there.
Okay.
There's some variations up
Okay.
there, though.
Right by the school.
So you're saying with bike lanes or without, you're gonna restrict parking?
That would be the strategy moving forward with this application.
Hold on a second. This application doesn't make us restrict parking.
In order to get the funding, though, this is federally funded, or federal funds, DOT
Right.
funds. You need to meet the requirements of SUDA standards.
Right, and those
And-
requirements will make us have to,
Well,
we'll have to?
due to the width requirements, yes.
Street's too narrow. It's, when there's parking on it,
Yeah.
it's tough. Man, unfortunately, it's a long stretch without
Oh,
a
it
stop
is.
sign in it, so the speed gets up too,
Yeah,
whether you want to or not, so.
it does. And particularly when you upgrade the street, then it'll even be more so.
Yeah, the bike lanes to that. Do you guys know where you're at?
Yes.
I think so.
Okay.
But we don't have anything on the,
Right, are you doing a motion to remove the bike lanes?
Well, I was just gonna see where we were. You want the bike lanes, right?
Yes.
You want the bike lanes?
With no, street parking, yeah, I'll take the bike lanes all day long.
Okay, I'm out on it, on that. Mr. Davidson?
I'm with Councilman Phillips.
Okay.
I'm out.
Well, that makes three, so,
So,
so we'll go forward as,
as
we'll
no,
go forward as is, I guess.
So we have a motion on the floor as, to submit the application as it is.
Second.
So you're not,
Oh.
no, it's already been
It's already
seconded.
seconded, okay.
So you're
They're on the
voting
motion
on-
right now.
Yeah,
Yes.
You're
yeah.
voting on the
Motion to
resolution.
apply
As
as,
is.
as originally written.
Okay, that's fine. Fleming,
I'm confused now.
Okay, we're voting on as it is written, as they
And the
initially.
current application has bike lanes as a part of it.
And parking's gonna be cut out
X and A.
regardless.
Correct.
Either way.
I'm gonna vote yes then.
okay, McCampbell,
No.
Wilson,
yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Davidson.
Yes.
Okay, we made it past that one.
Your Honor, I move the approval of a resolution waiving any potential conflict of interest resulting from Lynch Dallas PC representing the city of West Burlington with respect to proposed voluntary annexation of territory within the 2-mile city limit of Burlington.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. Leon Sheehan.
Leon Shahan, 1821 Mount Pleasant Street. As an accountant, every time I hear the words potential conflict of interest, I'm interested. Explain what's going on, please.
We share the same lawyer.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Okay.
But way to pay attention to detail, but yeah, that's all that is.
So West Burlington is annexing property that's,
We've already got it worked out as just that. They use the same lawyer that we do, so we have to sign this off, so for the lawyer's benefit, so there's no funny business, but that's all, literally all that is.
that's because both cities claim the same 2 miles.
Correct. If you look at the overhead project, this is the section that they're looking at annexing. And so it's within our 2-mile zone.
Okay.
And because of that, and we share the same attorney, that's the reason for the potential conflict of
Fine.
interest.
Thanks.
When I hear conflict of interest. That guy, God bless Leon Shahan. So are we good?
Good.
Okay, audience, everybody else is good with that?
Yep.
Kathleen?
Fleming,
Aye.
McCampbell,
Aye.
Wilson,
Aye.
Phillips,
Aye.
Davidson.
Aye.
Man, we've come to the end, kids, and to the end of a year and to the end of the meeting. So, final comments, Mr. Tislin? Nothing. No comments?
And the audience.
Man, what am I gonna do next year? Hey, okay. Any comments from the audience?
I'm sorry.
Tell me, man.
Eric Renteria, 907 High Street. I just wanted to revisit the concept of the Snake Alley District. I had sent out an email request to each of you about that, and wanted to ask for some action on that particular request. My sense from talking to everyone is that it was a well-received concept. Just got to make it happen now. So I'm not sure what the process is, how that gets on agenda for a vote or if a proclamation's made. I don't really know for sure, but wanted to bring that to your all's attention and see if we couldn't get that done.
I'd like to have it put on for a discussion.
Is it even within our realm?
Yeah, I'm
Right.
not sure
I don't
if
know.
that's,
Well, that's what,
Yeah.
we would have to have it on as a discussion item to be able to talk about it, so that's.
I think
That's probably true.
I think you start down City Hall. I think it just come on down. Let me know when you're gonna come down. I'll be down here when you do, and we'll go through the process. Stephanie runs all that stuff anyways, man. To rest. It's just like, yeah, whatever. But, no, I would start there, and, yeah, let's start from the ground level. Let me know what day, this week. I'll be available pretty much most of the days this week, so.
Yeah, I think, I'm all for it, Eric. You and I have talked about it. I think it's a brilliant branding way to go for downtown. I do think that if we're going to have those discussions, though, we need to bring in the DPI board on that, because it's more of a marketing thing
Right
than anything else. And so I'm not sure exactly where, as I discussed with you, where we fit on that besides a proclamation. That might not mean enough. We need to hear from the merchants that they're in unanimous or in large favor of it. That survey you brought on parking, you could revisit that and bring one, that might help, give us some indication. But I'm all for it, but I'm not sure what the process is to make it work.
So just 2 comments to that. One is that when I spoke with DPI and asked specifically if we started Snake Alley District downtown, who makes that decision? And they said, well, the council does that. So I a little bit of, somebody
Come on
else
down
do
to City
this.
Hall.
Okay.
So the second thing was that the Snake Alley District as a concept was on the initial papers that I brought down with the 60-some signatures of downtown merchants. So there's a tremendous support for it amongst the downtown folks as well.
Yeah, the ones I've talked to.
Yeah, just for the record, I think it's a phenomenal idea.
Yep.
I like the idea.
Yep.
I won't be here.
Yes, you are. You're not leaving Burlington. Kathleen, you got anything to say tonight?
Did Leon have
Wait,
something?
we still have.
I suppose, Jim, since you brought it up, I'm gonna, sorry, Leon. I'm trying to get out of here, I guess, man.
Yeah, well, I'm hungry too. Leon Shahan, 1821 Mount Pleasant Street. I just wanted to say, some friends of mine and I said at least 10 years ago, the viaduct at Mount Pleasant Street was in sad shape. The public hearing you're going to have, it's about time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anybody else from the audience? Okay. Counselor? I know you keep saying that not yet mess, but it's pretty much a wrap for you.
Merry Christmas. That's it.
All right.
Merry Christmas to you.
Good to see you tonight. Counselor?
Yes, of course. So, obviously, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everyone. I'm gonna miss you guys at the end. You know, you're way over there, but
Thank you.
you know a lot about the city and you have a lot of experience in different areas, and that will be missed. But hopefully, not really, because hopefully you'll stay in touch and give us your input all the time, right?
Thank you.
And then also, you know, everyone be safe with travel and to all your different events. There's going to be a great holiday concert this Wednesday. The Burlington Lunchtime Chamber Music Series has this really neat holiday concert, and that's from 12:15, and it's only half hour long. Wednesday afternoon at the First United Methodist Church. So whoever's downtown, it's a perfect lunchtime thing. You can bring your lunch even, and it's free. So fun if you're down here. And I think that's all I have.
All right. John Billups?
Well, it's kind of somber for me. I mean, what a talent loss tonight was. I mean, I'm excited about Matt and Linda joining me here at the table with you two guys. I'm really looking forward to it. But losing Jim and Bob is it's going to be a tough thing because there's a lot of talent and experience there.
No doubt.
We lost a lot of talent and experience in our streets and sewage department tonight, which is I'm happy and overjoyed for them. But man, oh man, it kind of stinks. Anyway, one good thing though, because I don't want to be Jim Furneaux and end on a somber note. Those street signs, or parking signs, look absolutely fantastic. I have had people blowing me up about them already on Facebook, on phone calls. They look great. We look like a real city. So get the rest of them up, please.
Should be up by the end of the week.
They look great.
They have the living windows. This week was a phenomenal time. I'll tell you what, everybody that participated in that, good job. I also want to thank every downtown business that is lighting up our downtown Burlington. It looks great downtown, and I just love to see it. So I got to go down to Living Windows, and I ran into the Davidsons, and I meant to hunt you back down, have you buy me something, but I'll catch you some other time, bro. But it was a phenomenal time. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and remind everybody it is better to give than to receive.
Absolutely.
Especially my children. I want to remind that, please pass that on. Shane, Shaylee, Shanice. Also, I want to thank the Midwest Magic. I got a chance to hang out with two of the Midwest Magic stars. We had dinner at Pizza Ranch. It was phenomenal. And I got 2 cards today from Mike Furman and Terry Coakley. I just want to tell you guys, if you're watching, thank you so much. The cards mean a lot to me. I'm going to hang them up downstairs. But we had a fantastic time, and we did not get kicked out. So that was a good time. I also want to tell people that as the council does new things, we've got new council on board as well. There'll be things that are coming past us. There'll be new things that are attempted, things that are tried. And people don't like new things, but I'm saying this because nobody was really jazzed about the roundabout. But I've got more compliments of people saying, hey, it just makes things so much faster. The roundabout, it's really working. And a lot of these people that are saying that were people that were first saying, man, that roundabout, why are you guys doing that? You know. So we're just going to ask people to just be patient. That's what we're trying to do in the community. We're trying to try new things, and we're trying to grow. And in the process of that, there's going to be times where you're used to a straight corner, and we're going to put in a roundabout. But bear with us, because it just may be the blessing we've been looking for. And then to the 2 gentlemen to my right. I'm going to say this. Even the way that I read when it comes to the consent agenda, the way I read it, Jim Davidson always did. You know, tonight we have the usual finances and miscellaneous minutes of previous meetings. Yeah, I stole that from your husband. So I'm gonna miss that, you know. When I first started on, my sister said, "You need to get new clothes. You dress like a bum." I said, "You never said anything at church." She goes, "You didn't sit by Bob Davidson, or sit by Bob Fleming at church." That's what she said, because everybody says Bob Fleming's always so dapper. So, I'll tell you what, just all the experiences, the good times, the tough times, but it creates friends out of all of us, and I'm glad to say that not only were you guys co-workers and whatever you want to call it, but I consider you both friends. I mean that, and I feel blessed to have had the opportunity to work with both of you. So I'll leave it at that. Jim says I'm not allowed to get all, you know. So, anyways, I'll stop there. Counselor, Mayor Pro Tem, past mayor, what do you got to say?
I said I'd like to say a few things at the end, and I hope that's all right with you all.
Absolutely, take your
First of all,
time.
I want to thank you, the public, for letting me serve. This is 9 of the last 10 years I've been sitting here, and so it's been an honor. Thank you, Sandy.
Amen.
I can say that without crying. So-
Amen. Go ahead, bro.
And specifically, I want to thank all you staff members. It is really true. We have an outstanding staff here.
Yes, we do.
Not only at City Hall, but all the different departments and the people that work in this community. We are blessed. And as the mayor said, I promised when I was elected, I would thoughtfully and prayerfully consider everything that came before me, and I tried to do that. And I also believe that anytime you leave an organization, you need to leave it better than when you came. And I trust that we've done that.
I think so.
We were in
Amen.
deep trouble, if you remember.
Amen.
And I have a couple of things that I guess they're philosophical, but I've had these notes on my desk since I got elected to city council. And this has been kind of my guiding principles. One of them is, it's surprising what can be accomplished when no one's concerned about who gets the credit. And I think that's a team concept,
Absolutely.
and it's really important. Another one is, anyone who thinks he knows all the answers simply hasn't heard all the questions. And I've tried to live by that one also. And this one I just added this recently. It said, you shouldn't think less of yourself, but you should think of yourself less. So if you
That's nice.
If you think about
That's nice.
that one a little bit. And one other thing, this one has been my kind of guiding thing too. 2 things keep you from having an effective life: regrets from the past and fear of the future. So don't let those 2 things bind you up. And guys, and Matt and Linda, we've made a lot of progress in the last 5 years. And don't blow it.
Okay. Your Honor, I move that we adjourn. I've already given my speech.
Well, let's see if city manager's got anything to say.
Pardon me.
I'm good.
You're good?
You guys?
Good.
Anybody
Anything?
in the back row?
What about the missus? Mrs. Davidson, you want to have a word?
He just enjoyed what he was doing. Never regretted it, never complained about it when it was time for a meeting.
He's yours, you got him, honey.
I second this motion.
Amen. Amen. All right.
Second it?
Let's get out of here, guys. Kathleen?
Fleming,
Aye.
McCampbell,
Yes.
Wilson,
Aye.
Aye.
Phillips, Davidson.
Aye, most assuredly. Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas.
Means
everyone.
adjourned. Thanks,
Christmas,
everybody.
And a happy new year.